All right, guys, well, it's been a while. Today is December 15th, I think. We are halfway through December already, which seems crazy. It feels like, well, actually, I mean, it seems like November, the beginning of November was just yesterday, and it feels like September, back when Cole killed his deer, was forever ago, and it feels like last November was just last week. So anyway, time is weird. Today I'm headed down to some family property and I'm gonna go shuffle around cameras, put out some corn. It is a non-CWD county, so the baiting and the feeding and everything is legal in that county. And so I'm gonna go down there and just kind of see what's around, see what survived rifle season, and see what made her. So we're already thinking about next year and what we're gonna do for food plots and locations and hunting and TSI and, you know, increasing bedding areas, anything like that. All right, guys, got my Buc-ee's. Got the gas, got the turkey sandwich, got the batteries. We are gonna try to get out of here. Actually, I'm gonna open up my sandwich first.
The land is extremely high priced.
Pulled in here to the farm. I'm gonna start, I come in from the south, so I'm gonna start at the south side and kind of check things out. I haven't been here all year, I haven't hunted here all year, not once. So I'm just gonna kind of tour it and walk through and see what I can find. I'm gonna go in kind of behind this pond right here. There's one pond on this place and then there's water, there's a creek that runs through it as well. So plenty of water out here for the deer. But so anyway, I'm gonna get out and start walking around, change my boots, and see what I can find. So I've got a couple bags of corn and a block. This is a non-CWD county, so the feeding and the grain is all still legal to put out. You can't hunt over it, of course. It's been like that forever, but in this county you still can't put it out for cameras and feed your deer and whatnot. So okay, guys, well, I just switched to the big camera, but I don't know if you can see behind me here. That's kind of what all this stuff looks like. It's just thick and kind of young for the most part. But once I get back in here, I'll show you guys some more of what it is and kind of how it looks. But the pond I'm talking about is actually right back here. So I'm gonna go in here, kind of check it out first. You know, all this is winter wheat, and all these field edges right here are all just limbs are hanging over and stuff. So I should be able to find scrapes, old scrapes. They're probably not still gonna be hitting them, but old scrapes and just deer sign. So that's all I'm looking for here. The way this year went, it was rough and we just didn't have enough backup plans. So I want to work to kind of make this like a backup plan in case next year is similar. But let's hope it's not that way, but I'd like to use this as a backup plan, and there's no reason this shouldn't hold a mature deer. So I'm gonna go in here and check it out today. Sun came out, it's gonna be a nice pretty day, so yeah, gonna walk around and check it out. So I'm not sure how bright this is, but obviously, as you guys can see, this is the pond. I'm kind of sitting on the edge here. This pond is on the southeast side of all this, what will be cover, and super easy access from any direction, north, south, and west. Not really east. To the east is a wheat field, and there's not a lot of cover over here. But pretty good location for a pond. Really clean, really clear pond. This is going to be one of the main focus points as we try to turn this place into something here. Good cover around this pond would be huge. We've got the food, we just need the cover. Yeah, this pond is going to be a key point in transforming this place into something. We're on the northwest side of the pond now, which is where the closest side of the pond to all the cover. But you know, right here I've got two trees that have rubs on them. So they're from a couple weeks ago. Nothing fresh, but you know, decent rubs. Nothing, you know. I'm not saying that's a mature buck. I'm not saying that's a shooter buck, but it is a buck. So a sign like that can tell you a lot. You know, there's going to be this back here is where we want to make the bedding. So that's a good sign if deer are going to come over and use this corner right here to drink, that's a pretty good sign. So anyway, deer sign, always look at it, always pay attention to it. It might not tell you a lot, but it can add a lot together and piece the puzzle together. So, all right, guys, so you can actually see back here behind me how just open this is, right? So we're on the south side of all the cover woods, whatever you want to call it, and it's just open, right? So back up here we got a wheat field, and then back down here, well, it's all wheat right now, but anyway, back down here we got more crops, and it's just super open, right? So, you know, deer will run through here, but bedding is just, you know, they want to see, but they also need that happy medium of feeling secure. So anyway, this is one of the parts where we want to kind of thicken it up, lay some trees down or whatever. You know, we got tons of cedars. The camera's sitting in a cedar tree right now. So anyway, tons of big cedars, tons of old cedars, but this is part of the area that's just super open, and we just want to, you know, thicken it up and see if deer start using it, and see if get deer in here for sure. So well, right back there I just ran into a scrape, old scrape, obviously from a few weeks ago when they were running around, but I'm kind of going through here and just looking, just checking it out. So we've got a lot of fallen down cut cedars that my uncle's cut years and years ago, and just also a lot of just open stuff just behind me here. Just a lot of open ground back through here. Just a ton of open stuff. So just checking it out. A lot of deer trails though. I mean, the deer use it for sure, and we just gotta try to get them to use it all the time, all year. That's the important part, is getting them to use it all year. So instead of just the rut, because they do use it during the rut, and they run through here quite a bit. This is a old mineral lick that, oh, it's been here for years and years and years. All right, so you can see here behind me, wheat field, obviously one of the crop fields, but right back here behind the camera is where that mineral lick is, and that old tree stand. And anyway, this has always been a really good spot for, you know, deer in kind of that late September, October time, at least since I've been paying attention to it. So anyway, yeah, this will probably be one of the spots I move my camera over. One of my other cameras is right back over that way. So we'll go over there and check it out, but I'll probably need to go back to the truck before I get too far away. But yeah, anyway, there's obviously this field, and then back here there's another wheat field. So anyway, gonna check it out, keep going. Those of you that know me or have maybe heard my friends talk about me or anything like that, I am one of the most to the book people when it comes to hunting and wildlife regulations and conservation regulations. And you know, not so much because it's good to follow. It is good to follow the law. It's great to follow the law. I mean, they're set in place for many reasons, but I just think too there's a respect aspect to the game in that. So, you know, there are regulations there are plenty of regulations that I do not agree with at all. I think there's a lot of things that MDC does that I do not agree with, I never will agree with. But the regulations are in place, and you know, they're the scientists, they're the ones that make the rules. So I don't always think they're the smartest people around or thinking with their brain, but you know, we gotta follow the rules. So I don't do this very often. So anyway, all that saying, you don't see me do this a lot. Two of the spots I can hunt are actually both in different non-CWD counties. So that means you can put out bait in front of cameras and just put them out and watch wildlife. You cannot hunt over bait, and you will never find me hunting over bait in a state where it's illegal. Now, granted, I do think I'm going to go to Kansas next week, and that'll be my first time ever hunting over bait. So, am I excited for you? I'm kind of excited to see how that happens. And after this year, I kind of need it. I need an easy hunt. That would be fantastic. But like I said, killing maturity over bait, I don't think is probably the easiest thing. So anyway, that's a whole other story. That'll be another video. But I'm gonna go take this in here. This is right behind me, is back where that stand was that I just showed you guys. I drove around here, but anyway, I'm gonna take this back in there, take the camera in there, put it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the tree I'm gonna put my camera on. I'm gonna kind of face it back this way. Reason being is the sun, as you can tell here, the sun's back behind me, and just when the sun starts facing these cameras, it makes them kind of weird. So anyway, I'm gonna put it here. This is Mineral Lake. Then I'm gonna put all the corn right around it, and I'm gonna put the camera up first to make sure that I can get service, because it's pretty important. I should be able to. I've had cameras here before, but anyway, put the camera up, and then I'll put out this corn. All right, guys, so this is a place where my cell cam was. It was back up in this tree here. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, this is kind of a little path through here, and deer run this quite a bit during the rut. So the cameras, or the photos here have really slowed down. So I'm gonna actually pick it up and move it back over here. I've always kind of on the map, I've always wanted to put a camera over here and see what everything uses it. So we're gonna go take it back over there and do that. I am gonna put a normal camera back up over here somewhere where I can just see and watch eventually and check it and see what comes through this path. All right, guys, so this, where I'm standing here, is kind of the main, if you want to say, biggest field. Actually, probably not. The biggest field itself is probably actually going to be right here behind the camera. That's kind of across the creek, up on a hill. There's a house back in there. And anyway, this is going to be, if you look at the map, this would be what anyone would probably call the main field, right? So I just drove and looked at little area right over here where I had thought I wanted to put a camera, but it just didn't, I don't know. I'm not counting it out, but it just didn't look quite what I thought it would look like. And I do want to kind of go look over here. So in this spot here, I was driving along, I stopped here because I saw a couple rubs. A couple old rubs, obviously during the rut, but there was a couple here. There's actually was a couple up there where I was wanting to kind of put a camera. So take that into consideration for sure, but I don't want to put it there without looking over here first. So where I'm gonna go is kind of the east side of the property, a couple fingers that come together. On the map it doesn't look great, but that doesn't necessarily mean much sometimes. All right, guys, well, I just walked back over here, kind of behind the camera now, over towards the neighbors. Looks like the neighbors got a food plot kind of right on the edge, which, hey, nothing you can do about that, but that is the neighbor that killed the big deer this year, so that's interesting. But anyway, it just wasn't, I don't know, I didn't want to put it over there. If the neighbor's still hunting, I just, too much weird stuff can go with that. So anyway, I'm gonna go back over here behind me where I wanted to put the stuff first, and put the camera out and put the other bag of corn and the camera out over here back behind me. So I'm gonna jump in the truck, drive back over there real quick. We've got just enough daylight left. It's turned out to be a beautiful evening. So anyway, I'm gonna take the stuff back there, and we'll get that put out. All right, guys, well, right here behind me is where I'm gonna put up this other camera. I'll kind of turn around here. You can see all this back behind me, just one big wheat field. Pretty beautiful sunset tonight. But anyway, Yeah, right here behind me, I'm gonna get this camera set up. I'm gonna put this, just kind of sprinkle this corn out in front of me. Probably means I'll get a lot of pictures of crows and whatnot, but that's okay, the deer should find it. But anyway, I'm gonna get this sprinkled out, gotta get this cleared out a little bit. All right guys, well I just got the last camera put up and I got the corn poured out. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Kind of on the edge of the field here, and there's not much to that one. So I'd say there'll be a lot of crows and raccoons and a few deer in there. But anyway, successful day, ended with a beautiful sunset behind me here. You guys can see, you know, nothing, you can't ask for anything more in December if you're gonna do some scouting and some checking things out. So I am pretty excited for this one for next year. Next year this will be in beans, so that is also a really good thing for us. Season's coming to a close. We're already thinking about next year, and this is one of the places that we're thinking about. So lots of plans for this place, as in we're gonna create some bedding areas, do some TSI, and the crops will be beans next year. So that's a good year to have some good bedding and do some good things. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get things packed up, and I'll be headed back home. So beautiful evening, and I'm glad we can do this as always. So thankful, and thankful the good Lord can give us something like this. So tomorrow I might be filming some geese. Who knows?